Welcome to the first video interview of the A Few Minutes podcast. I'm super excited to be here with Ari, fellow DC girl and founder of STRIPT. This is our second go at this, but I'm excited. I like the video setup. I also like to see, I think everyone needs to see the bodysuits in person. I was like, I'm going to wear STRIPT.
Of course.
So you're wearing STRIPT, but on the way here, I was thinking about kind of like the evolution of a STRIPT campaign.
Yes.
And so tell me about your thought process for this most recent one with the mini dresses.
Okay, so let me think. So the most recent one was in LA on PCH. That was the vibe. So one thing that I've had to do because I work and do STRIPT is like, I really love our rollouts, but I've had to find ways to like maximize the productions when I have time to travel and do them. So it's been like a thing of like, sometimes I used to do like scripts and like all this stuff. And it's been like, I'm like, okay, I've got to find a way to like make it interesting, but more simple. And so this last one, I just love Topanga Canyon. I just love it. Like I've gone to LA a lot now from STRIPT. And that's always something I love to do is to go like Malibu, drive in Topanga Canyon. I just think PCH is like the coolest thing ever. So I was like, let's do that. And then the pink car, I was like, only in like LA can you find something like that. That's the one thing about shooting in LA is so much better because they have better resources.
Because for the first campaign, there was like you did the BMW.
Yeah, and that was in LA too. But that was actually just my friend's car. But this one was cool because I was like, it's a pink Mustang, but it was actually really hard to drive. But yeah, so I was like, let's just do like a cool girls hitchhiker idea because that's like easy to like just like pick people up on the road.
Yeah.
It ended up actually being kind of crazy because it's always some drama, you know, like with people don't want you to shoot or they do want you to shoot or like they want you to move. It was a little complicated, but yeah, I just wanted to find something that was like cool and like relatable and fun. Like originally wanted to shoot at Nobu, but the Nobu lot was insane.
Yeah.
So then we were like, F Nobu, like let's go to McDonald's across the street, which I think was such a better call because that's more relatable anyways. Like everybody likes McDonald's. Well, people act like they don't, but I think I like the fries. And honestly, when we were there, all the girls on the set wanted it. So I was like, yeah, this is cool. So that's kind of how we did the PCH shoot. But yeah.
Is it easy to kind of get acquainted with like models, especially when you don't know them, if you're like picking them offline or things like that?
Yeah, like that's something personally, like I always have, like I'm like a forced extrovert. So I always am nervous about like working with people because it requires so much energy to like be upbeat and be cool and like make sure people are comfortable. And like top priority for me is like my models are always like comfortable and feel good. But we've gotten to a place now where we kind of have like a Rolodex of models we like to work with. And then we can like get referrals from those models. And honestly, I think because we keep our sets really professional and really cool, we like end up getting so good. Like the vibes are always so good. I've not ever had like bad vibes with a model on set, or if we've had one actually, but not a video shoot, and we never work with her again. But like that's just like top priority. But it is nerve-wracking, and I have had situations where like they may look a little different than Instagram, but now I don't have to like worry about that as much because it's like a referral based.
So you talked about being a forced extrovert.
Yes.
Do you consider yourself an influencer or more like a person who just shares their life on the internet?
Right. Definitely the latter. Yeah. I definitely think I'm the person who shares my life, but I do think I have recognized that I have influence. But I feel like, now being an influencer is like, everyone wants to be an influencer. It's like, so like, I don't do it because I'm trying to like make money. You know, like that's a new thing. Like everyone wants affiliate marketing is like destroying social media.
Yeah.
And I do it because like if I do like something, I'm like, you got to know about this shit. It's so good. Like I want people to know about it. And then naturally people like it. And then that's influence. But that doesn't really make me any money. But yeah, I don't like to identify as an influencer.
I think that's the interesting thing about social media. Like you can always tell when someone's sharing something because they want to gain something from it, as opposed to, okay, I really had this great matcha. I want everyone else to have it. And I just like love matcha. So like, I'm going to talk about it naturally. I want to post it online.
Right. Yeah. And that now it's just like, everything is my link is here. Like, and it's just like, I get it because people want to get paid, but no.
Have brands like ever approached you like, oh, we want to pay you to promote this?
Yeah. They'll do that, or they'll like, like I had one time I had to deal with actually Anheuser-Busch, and they wanted me to do Limerita. And it was actually really well paid. But I actually ended up turning it down because at first I was doing it, and then I was just like, I don't like how this shit tastes. And they were wanting me, they had way too much control on what they wanted me to do. They were like, we want you to have your captions be a bunch of sentences and talk. I'm like, no, hell no. This is not my vibe. So I literally just told them, like, yeah, I'm done. Like, I'm not posting nothing. Like, I'll give you guys your shit back. But usually I don't like those kind of arrangements unless maybe I were to reach out, but I don't ever do the reaching out. But if it was a brand that I actually aligned with, I would do it.
What brand do you think that would be?
Aesop. I like Aesop.
Oh yeah, I love their toner. The
toner is so good.
Yeah,
I love that Chrome Hearts. I love Chrome Hearts. I would do it for Lululemon. I like Lululemon a lot, and yeah, like those are probably my top. Just the things that I use, like. But now Lululemon is almost. They don't need nothing because I mean they're getting so much free promo on TikTok. But definitely Aesop and Chrome Hearts. Chrome Hearts would be my dream one.
It's so funny. I would definitely say Lululemon top of mind. Yeah. I wear Lululemon all the time.
Yes, I love it.
There are other activewear brands that I try, and I'm like, no, nothing ever.
It doesn't compare. Yeah. The only thing they can improve on is colors. I think, but that's because their market is like, yoga, like white girl. So I think the colors align with that better. But if they had more colors that I like, that'd be nice. But it honestly saves me money that they don't.
So in our other interview, you told me that you tried to pitch to Lululemon to get them to make bodysuits. Tell me about that.
So I just love their leggings so much. My favorite was actually the full-on Luon, which they discontinued. But I Twitter messaged them and I was like, can you please make a full body bodysuit? Because at the time, the only place that I had really found them was like Los Angeles Apparel. And that they were terrible. Like they always had holes in them. The connect, it was horrible. So I was like, imagine Lululemon material in a bodysuit. And I said it, I tweeted them. And then they tweeted me back like, thank you. Like, we'll keep it in mind. They didn't do nothing. They didn't do anything. And I just was like, fuck it, like, I'll do it. And somebody actually reminded me on my live, like they had remembered that, which I thought was funny. They were like, I remember when you pitched to Lululemon on Twitter. And now they actually do bodysuits.
Yeah, I have a purple one. It's really nice, but it's not tight enough.
Exactly.
And I don't want to go, like, I'm already like a 4. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to go to a 2 and then have it like fit weird.
And like bulging in certain places. Yeah. Because their brand model is like activewear.
Yeah.
Not like shapewear or like snatching or like cutting away to like, I do think their leggings are cutting away that are flattering, but I don't think their bodysuits are designed to really be like flattering.
Yeah. How do you feel when people, I would say like try to compare Skims to Stripped and be like, okay, it's the black Skims.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's a fair comparison for a few reasons. Like, one, we had bodysuits before Skims did. But 2, like, the thing is, like, bodysuits is not a new concept or like a thing. Like, it's like a button down, right? Like, anyone, like, that's a staple. But the reason Skims is nothing like Stripped is because the quality of our fabric is much better. The quality of our bodysuit is much better. So like, if you're going to compare something, then I can immediately look at the material composition and be like, can't compare. It's a bodysuit, but it's nothing like us. Also, Skims, I hate the term dupe because we're not cheaper than Skims. So it's like that. And I do think like, Skims has a lot of different offerings, which eventually, we want to get to that point too. But I like Skims. I like some of their products, but I definitely don't. I'm not trying to be a Skims dupe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
The term dupe in general, I think, is super overused. It's really annoying. I was just on TikTok and someone was talking about like a Goyard dupe.
Yeah, like, and then it was crazy.
Like, I would understand like there's like a Tory Burch bag that has like a similar pattern. That's like a dupe. But not when you're like on DHgate searching for the exact
That is
thing.
A knockoff. But the word knockoff is not a term anymore.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
nobody wants to feel bad about
it's like totally cool to wear fake shit. But it's like, and that's fine. But like, also I think that dupes bother me too when it's like, a dupe to me is supposed to be of the same quality. So like, yeah, you can go get a bodysuit that looks like this from Shein. Of course. It's not like the most unique cut or whatever. But it's not a dupe because it's not $7 an equivalent. A dupe is supposed to be somewhat equivalent to me. Like, oh, like CoverGirl has some good shit. That might be comparable to Makeup by Mario. I tend to believe things that cost more are better in most cases, but like that might be cool. But dupes can't just be you going and stealing a design that's super cheap from a fast fashion brand.
Yeah. And I think the hunt for like dupes or knockoffs, it kind of takes out the personal style element or like the discovery of fashion. Like, oh, okay, I can't afford something that's like $300. So let me like scour the internet, find something of similar quality and like learn about brands that it may be like 150 or 250
or getting it used, like getting it on Depop. Like I think that's a part of the issue is like, well, that's a part of like the problem with fashion right now too is like things are just so cheap, so terribly made and all that. And like people are like, I think people think like they need a million things in their closet. So they're like, okay, yeah, like I want to shop at Shein because I can get like 100 pieces for like $50.
Yeah.
But it's like, one, that's like not good for the environment. But two, it's like, I wish we could shift to a place where it's like we all don't feel the pressure to like have so much shit. And so it's like if your item costs $150, but you can wear it 100 times, like that's cool. Like it's okay to wear the same shit over and over and over again. That's what fashion is supposed to do. You should wear good quality stuff that makes you feel good, makes you look good, and it costs something, so it has value. You like, yeah, I spent some money on this, and if you need to go get it on Depop or you need to just have 2 as opposed to 10, that's fine.
I think that's what I like about like your TikTok videos. I follow like London Girl and NYC, Naomi Alizé. It's about styling and not about like, look at this new product I got. It's like I've been wearing this for a long time.
Yeah, because like I can't keep up with hyper consumerism. And like I can't make my TikTok about like I see girls who do hauls all the time. And I'm like, I don't know how they're doing this shit. I'm like, are y'all returning this shit? Because I cannot compete. I cannot make my brand identity about buying shit because I'm not going to be able to keep up with that. And I don't want to keep up with that. And I don't want to contribute to hyper consumerism. I think it's cool to buy shit and wear it a lot. That's how I am. Like I got my shoes. I'm going to wear these all the time until they're dogged. And then I'm going to go buy the same pair because I like it that much. I think like, and even as I do TikToks, I've been doing more TikToks of trying to like show my bodysuits and stuff. Even when I'm wearing stuff that I've already worn, that pressure comes to me still where I'm like, oh my gosh, I should get this because I want to make a TikTok. And I have to correct myself like, no, like we're going to make a TikTok with that same bag.
Yeah.
100 times. And that's fine because that's like what we should be doing. We're regular people.
What's your approach to styling Stripped?
Yeah. I feel like, so everybody has their one that they prefer based on their body type. Because like they're all cut the same actually, but because of zipper placement and all that, it looks different. So I know like my favorites based on how they look on me. Like I like the Ari on me. I like the Gigi because I like the sleeves. And then so if I have a stack leg, I have to think like what shoe do I want with a stack leg? So it usually starts with the shoe, but I think the cool thing about a bodysuit is it's like 90% of the outfit is done. So I just start with my shoe, an accessory. I like my jewelry. I wear the same jewelry. I always wear my jewelry. And then you can basically wear any bag with it. So yeah, I feel like it's all about the shoes, the jewelry, and since it's hot, no jacket, but just accessorizing it. That's my approach.
And then overall, what would you say your personal style is? If you could describe it, like 3 words.
3 words, I would say edgy. I like to be edgy. And it's weird because I guess edgy and maybe like it's not like simple because that might seem like opposite to edgy, but I don't like too much. Like I like less is more, which is not a one word, but and then I like comfort. Definitely. I like to be comfortable.
Do you think your like level of comfort went up after you became a mom, like wanting to be comfortable?
Yeah, I think, yeah, for sure. I mean, I know like I remember graduating college and being like, I'm never wearing heels again. Like I'm done wearing heels. Like I don't ever want my feet to be in pain. That kind of changed. I just started to like realize like I have to buy certain kind of heels and stuff. But yeah, I think that honestly, I think just maturing in general, but you do have a level of confidence after you have a kid. But just like knowing like I have to be comfortable first. Like stepping outside and not being like 100% comfortable in my clothes is crazy. Like, or my feet, like, come on, that's crazy. Like, I just bought a pair of shoes actually, and I think they're so cute, but they're so hard to walk in, and I'm like, they're getting returned. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, they've got to get returned, but they were on the Essence private sale.
The best sale.
But they got to go back because it's like, if I can't walk in, then that's stupid.
So Keke Palmer said something similar, just like after she had a kid, she feels like way more confident in her body. Where do you think that comes from?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, I don't know, because I definitely think I see it all the time. I said it about Keke too. I tweeted about it. Like, it's just like a glow. There's like a bag you get in once you have a baby. I mean, I think it's probably because it's like, once you have a kid, it's kind of like, like, it's like when you turn 18, you're an adult, you turn 21, you can drink. All that shit is cool, but like, you might still be like a kid, right? Yeah. But once you have a kid, it's like, no, like, and you're raising a kid, it's like, no, like, I'm doing this shit. Like, I'm responsible for a being. Like, you really can't tell me shit. Also, when you have a baby, physically delivered baby, the amount of pain you go through, even like the whole process of being pregnant, like the fact that you can do that and make it through that, and then like raise the baby from infancy to growing up, it's like, what can you tell me? Like, I'm grown. Like, I got this. I had to do this. Like, you really can't tell me anything.
Do you want another kid?
Yes. I mean, I do. And I think about how I'm like, wow, everybody's on their second kid. But honestly, I've spent so much of my life like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And that's how I was with kid too. I was like, I'm gonna have one, then I want 2 years later, I want there to be a 2-year age gap. But I have to tell myself to slow the fuck down. Like, I actually sit with myself, I'm like, I don't actually want another kid right now. So I'm not gonna have another kid right now. But usually I would tell myself, like, we gotta get to the next goal, like we gotta do the next thing. But I'm like, no. Like, it'll be okay if she's 4 years older than her sibling. Like, it'll be fine. And maybe at that point we'll have a double, but like, I got too much shit going on. And daycare is really expensive. Like, it's so expensive. So I'm like, I don't need 2 in daycare.
So people may not know, you're a mom, you're a business owner, but you're also an attorney.
Yes.
What's it like balancing all 3 of those?
Yeah, like sometimes it gets really a lot. Like right now, sometimes I'll have like really busy months or really busy weeks. And I've been struggling recently because I like have to work. Sometimes I'm doing like 10, 15 billable hours in a day, which if you work in Big Law, like that's like the entire day. So if I go to work early, if I start work early and if I come home late, she goes to sleep at 7:30. So like and we have to go in the office 3 days a week. So I've gone like days where I don't see her. So I've been struggling with that because I'm just like, I'm missing out on her life. And so that can be really hard. And then like on top of that, I have to like work on strips. So like the burnout can get there. But sometimes you're just so busy that it's like, you have to get to the point where you're like, fuck it. Like, some shit is just not, I have to just be like, some shit is just gonna have to chill. Like, I'm just not gonna be able to do everything.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality of being so busy. But I definitely don't want to sacrifice that with my child. But she has a father, and like she has a whole village around her. So I have to be like okay with it. But it is like a challenge, especially I think like as a mom, because there's a lot of pressure on us. Whereas like if the dad works a lot, it's like,
yeah, my dad was a lawyer. So
yeah.
It's not like, oh my God, when your dad is gone, I don't think people see it as the same as like your mom being gone. It's like, oh my God, my mother wasn't, especially when you're a girl.
Yeah. And it's like my boyfriend he works from home. So like he really does like the hands-on like with her a lot. So it does make me feel like sometimes I'm just like, I mean, like I have so many internal battles. I'll be like, is she closer to him? Like, is she like me? And she's definitely a daddy's girl, which they have their phases, but like it is hard. But it's like I have goals I want to hit. So it's like I gotta hit them. But the major goal is to be able to quit my full time and work on Stripped.
Okay.
Definitely. Once that goes, life will be much more manageable.
Do you see it like anytime soon? Like 2 years, 5 years?
It has to be. It has to be within 2 years. 5 is too long. 5 is too long. I'm even surprised that it gets to the point where like, especially when you have a kid, the stability of a full-time is nice. But I think I would be able to grow faster outside of it. It would just be scary. But I don't see more than 2 more years. Yeah.
So what is it, or let me back that up. So you talked about your boyfriend, how like supportive he is at home. have you had other partners who maybe like weren't supportive of you, especially because you're very confident, very like outspoken?
Yeah.
I can feel the same way like in partners I've had before.
Yeah.
They just can get intimidated by that. Have you felt that? And then so how's your current boyfriend different?
Yeah, like 100%. Like the guy that I was dating when I was coming up with STRIPT, he actually had a clothing brand too. And he basically told me like he thought it was champ. He was just like, I think that's lame that you're gonna do a bodysuit brand. And I was like, okay. And luckily my friends were so supportive. So I was able to drown that out. But yeah, he told me that, and he's really had to eat his words because I mean my brand has done so much better than his, but like also just in generally successful. But yeah, like that was definitely a situation where had I listened to him and had I like let him like make me insecure, I would have missed out on a huge opportunity. And in general, I think he was just competitive, which is like the worst thing ever. And you don't realize they're competitive at the beginning. And then you find out later and it's like, this is not going to work. You can't compete with your partner. But like in contrast, my current boyfriend, I mean, he like built my website. Like he told me it was so cool. He told me he loved the name. Like he was so into it. So like he pretty much never has anything. He never has nothing negative to say. So yeah, like that's so important for an entrepreneur.
Do you find that guys ever try to like get at you under the guise of like doing business with STRIPT?
You know, that's a good question. I think that honestly, I think that STRIPT has become, I think people want to work with STRIPT real bad. But I think that, I don't know, because by the time they get to working with us, it's so like professional that they have no chance. I mean, you know, like we have layers of like who they deal with before me, and then like we don't play at all. So I've never had a guy try to get at me through STRIPT. I have had guys like, I think that's like they love to talk about that, like when they want to talk to me, or like what I think is really funny is guys I went to school with, they always want to talk about numbers. They always want to know how much money we're making. That's the shit I hear the most from men. Like, oh, like how's STRIPT? Like one time a guy asked me like, yeah, like if you had to compare STRIPT to a stock, which one would you compare it to? And then another guy asked, he said one time like, yeah, like I'm gonna assume you've made this much so far, and I think he thought I was gonna like confirm or deny. And then he was like, yeah, but you know, you need like $10 million to retire. So do you think you could make $10 million, sell $10 million worth of bodysuits? And I'm like, whoa, why are we talking about retirement? But two, like businesses don't retire. Like my business is not retiring. But yeah, so I think that's what I deal with more with men. I think they think like we're competitive. We're like, they want to like talk numbers and shit. But I haven't had anyone try to talk to me through it, which is great.
Do you think having just like a lot of followers and like a pretty like high profile, especially like in the DMV area, do you think people try to like cross boundaries with like what they ask you?
You know, I think that people ask me all types of shit. I mean, but like my DM, it's like the craziest place. But I have been so like willing to talk to people. And so like some of my friends will say like, you need to create boundaries, you need to stop replying to people. But honestly, I think that's why I've been able to be successful, is because I am willing to engage with people. I talk to everybody that talks to me in my DMs. I answer all the questions. Like I think that's part of connecting with people and having a brand that people connect to. So I don't try to shy away from it.
So something like getting like Botox,
right,
or anything like that, like did you have any nervousness about talking about it?
So personally, my nerves, like for example, I've never talked about on TikTok that I have filler. I have filler in my cheeks and my jaw and my chin. And the only reason I haven't is not because I think people are gonna be like, oh, like she's only pretty because she has all that work done, but more so because I have to like really I have to be careful about what I am promoting, in the sense that like I know that now that I'm my age now, actually a lot of people are younger than me. So I'm like, gotta remember that. And so like I make sure to like think about what am I pushing that may make it seem like that's necessary, or like that's what everybody should be doing, or like I have to make sure to be like not jumping on the bandwagons of certain shit. But like with Botox, I felt like that was a little more benign. Versus like fillers are a little less benign. So I have to like think about that. But I wasn't too nervous about the Botox. But yeah.
I think about getting Botox.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, I want to know like my why, but then I also like, of course, like want to have a consultation. But I'm very scared, not scared of like backlash, like, oh, why did you get Botox? Or like, you didn't need it. I feel like people are very picky and judgmental over like beauty choices.
100%.
And I think that can be super annoying. Like, I even think about the choice to like wear your natural hair or not wear your natural hair. And like people have so much to say about it.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like, let me back that up. Do you kind of like grapple with, not that you, I wouldn't say like grapple with trends, but do you ever feel like kind of pressure to like do one thing or another based off like, oh, I don't want to say the way the internet talks, but kind of the way the world kind of switches?
Yeah. I mean, I think like, for example, you talking about Botox. When I look at you and you move your eyebrows, I don't think you need Botox. Like for me, like I got Botox because I had forehead wrinkles that I didn't like anymore. And that's why I got it. But like, I do think like certain things, I think about like lip filler. It's like we all made fun of Kylie for having lip filler. And we all talk about how black girls have full lips. And now I think people just get it because it's like a thing to do. And it's like, you don't even need it. But I'm not going to judge anybody for getting it. But it's just like, I think that's a bit weird when it's like, we get to a point where like, we're just getting shit because we're literally being told to get things. For me, like I got Botox because my forehead had wrinkles. I'm very expressive and I didn't like how the wrinkles looked. I got filler because as I'm getting older, I'm losing collagen. So my cheeks had dents.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, for me, it's like a need in my mind. But also I go to a really good injector, Michelle, German in DC. So like I never have to worry about coming out looking crazy, but I don't feel pushed by trends. I think that trends may open your exposure and knowledge about things, but
yeah,
I don't ever feel influenced by them.
That's how I feel about skincare. Like people would talk about Korean skincare all the time. Yes. Like, oh, it's just a trend. Like, but when I change my skincare routine, the texture change.
Yeah.
Honestly, just how I felt about myself in the morning after doing my routine at night. So I do agree. Like sometimes I do feel very overwhelmed by the amount of information on the internet and trends. But then I'm like, okay, my mind has been open to so many new things.
No, so many new things. Like that's the power of the internet. Like I just feel like people are way smarter and way more aware than like ever. Because TikTok, I'm like, shit, you can learn a million things in one day. But yeah.
So something, when you walked in, I noticed like we both have on like these clog type shoes. And I was thinking about how girls from DC, like a clog, a platform, that's very much our thing.
Yes.
What do you think it is about like growing up in DC that gives you a different type of like style, but also a different type of confidence?
Yeah, I think it's so funny because this probably should have been one of the words I used to describe my style. I always say like, I feel like people from DC, like women from DC, the best way to describe us is like our style is very funky. Like we're very funky. Like we wear things that are like ultra creative, ultra different. Like, so I think being raised in like a city where like you're young, you're taking the metro, like you're, people in DC are very forward, very quick to like, as far as dressing, like you really have to look good. Like you're taking the metro. So like you're in the public eye a lot and people are very willing to tell you if you look a mess. So I think that's part of why people in DC are so particular and making sure that they look good. But I think something about it, even like go-go music is very funky and very like unique and like very creative. I just think like that's like the ultimate DC auntie to me is like big frames, like color, like that type of shit. And I don't know, I just feel like that's something about our DNA.
Do you ever get annoyed when you see people maybe like copy your style?
You know, I have to like let go of that, but I do not I personally like, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm an Aquarius, but I don't really care about them doing it as much as sometimes I want credit, but not like I want them to tell the world, but I would just want, it's not realistic because I don't need people to come and be like, I got this from you. Although sometimes people do, and I'll appreciate it, especially when it's like the exact same outfit. Like, and then be like, oh, Ari, I use your inspo for my vacation board, whatever, right? That's cool. I don't mind it. That's like, cool, you give me my credit. But sometimes I'm like, that's what I should grapple with. Like, I don't know how logistically I would like the credit, but I have to let go of that. But I note it. I definitely notice it. Definitely. Every time.
Does it ever feel weird? Like people talk about like parasocial relationships. Like, do you think people know you more than they actually do because you're online?
Yeah, I think that, like, I think they know me. Like, I think I'm working on my online persona matching me better, maybe. I feel like...
Where do you feel like there's a gap?
I think people probably think that I'm a lot meaner than I am, and I'm actually nice, so I hate that. There was a time in my life when I was meaner, for sure. As I've gotten older, my filter has gotten better. But I think that when you just see words written, like on Twitter, it's a lot less context, so I might come off more mean. But I think when I communicate with people, they realize that I'm nice. So maybe that my Instagram might be a little better, but that's what I would like. Yeah.
So I have one final question for you.
Okay.
Tell the people what Hottieween is, and are we getting another one?
Yes. Oh my gosh, we have to do another one, right? Because we haven't had one. Hottieween was an awesome, epic Halloween party. It was at a Mom Moniere on 8th Street, and it was so fun. And it was not from Megan Thee Stallion. I actually came up with that name myself, and then she had it, and I was like, what? But yeah, and we need to throw another one, but I think it'll be way bigger this year. It's always like, it's like there's homecoming, then there's Hottieween. So I'm like, are people gonna come?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, I think now, since we're like 2 years into Strip, I think it would be like a huge thing.
Would you do it at the same location?
No, we have to do something bigger.
Yeah.
Right? Like a bigger venue. That's another problem. We need more venues in DC.
DC doesn't have venues. My coworkers were asking me, like, do you know places that we can do like a meetup for work? Like, they were like 150 people. I was like, I literally don't know.
No.
I don't know.
We need it bad. I mean, whoever does it is going to make a great amount of money.
I feel like Big Chief was like amazing, and then that shut down.
And then it shut down. And I mean, that area has gotten really bad. So that's why all those businesses are pulling out. But yeah, we're getting Hottieween. What do you think you would be? For Halloween? Yeah. Jocelyn Hernandez.
Okay, I like that.
I like Jocelyn Hernandez.
I want to be a bimbo and then have my boyfriend be a himbo.
A himbo? What is a himbo?
It's like a guy who's like cute, like kind of buff, but like he's a bit of an airhead.
Okay, I like that.
Like super sensitive.
That's very cute. I like that.
I want to match that energy.
Yeah.
This has been fun.
I know, this is so fun. I'm so excited for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, this is going to be great.
Perfect first interview because I'm actually like a Strip customer.
Yes.
Like, I remember when the first bodysuit dropped, I was like, this is all I want to wear. This is the pandemic. I want to wear one thing. I don't want to get dressed up.
Yes.
I can actually like vouch for the quality.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.